Hello again and welcome back to my shop. A colleague of mine, Frederick from Sweden, was kind enough to send me some wood, and today I'm going to use a piece of that wood and turn my first fountain pen. Frederick was also kind enough to document the wood that he sent me, so I knew exactly what it was and exactly where it was from. One very special piece Frederick found on a small sand island at the southern tip of Sweden. That piece of wood is black oak, and it's believed that it may have fallen off of a sunken vessel. The vessel would have been a German trade ship that sank in the mid-1600s. Today, I'm going to turn that beautiful piece of wood into a fountain pen. Preparing to turn this blank, I don't know what to expect with this wood being as old as it is and being that it spent so much time submerged under salt water. I've got my tool nice and sharp, and we're just going to go slow and see if we can't true this blank up, and then we'll take a look at the pen plan and go from there. It's looking good. I think I'm just going to kind of clean it up. I'm going to have to probably put some CA in that crack. It's a little deeper than I thought. After looking this blank over, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sand it down, and then I'll try to fill some of these crevices. I'm going to get some denatured alcohol, and I'm going to clean this blank up really well. Using a little Instabond medium thickness CA glue, I'm just going to try to get some in the crack. And I've got some activator here. My CA glue is dried. I'm ready to start cleaning up the blanks a little bit. You'll notice I have it separated from the bushings, and that's because I didn't want to take a chance of it drying to the bushings if some of the glue got onto the bushings. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the mandrel, get everything back between the bushings. Okay, that's all I really dare to do with that tool for fear of getting below the bushings. I mean, I'm perfect on the bushings, so I think I'm going to get some clean sandpaper and start sanding it down. I've got the CA glue sanded off the blank. It looks really amazing, so I'm going to start applying some CA glue. Okay, I like how this is turning out. The voids are starting to fill in a little bit. I'm going to put one more thick coat of my CA glue on the blanks, and then I'm going to grab my micro mesh pads, and I'm going to lightly sand with the micro mesh, and then we'll come back and apply a few more coats, and we're just going to keep building it up until these one or two little crevice areas are smooth. The surface over them is smooth. So. Don't want to sand too hard with these. I'm not trying to take all the finish off. I'm just trying to kind of level it up a little bit. Just want to check the progress. Wow, this is going to look great. One more coat of CA, and then we'll get out the micro mesh and run through the grits again. I lost track of how many coats of CA glue I applied. It was quite a few, maybe 15. I'm going to go ahead now and use a little bit of my one-step, and I'm going to polish this blank. first thing we want to do is put a coupler in each end of the lower barrel. Now these just slide in like this. I'm going to give it a little tap just to kind of get it started. And I like to use just a piece of corrugated cardboard to protect the, there we go, the coupler from the aluminum piece here that presses it in. Let's go ahead and grab the other one. Line it up. Whoops. We want to be careful about that. Don't want to drive it in there at an angle. There we go. Get her started. Using my cardboard again to protect this end. This end is protected. I'm not worried about the far end, but there we go. Next up, we've got a lower cap here, and this barrel, it can go in either end. I'm going to go ahead and treat this as the back half of the pin. I'm just going to attach this little cap, press this center band into the cap. Start off by giving it just a tiny tap, just enough to get it started. There we go. I've got a cap nut here that I need to press in. All right, let's assemble the clip. We'll start by putting this trim ring over the end of the blank. I'm going to drop my clip on. The cap simply threads right onto the pin. I grabbed one of the ink refills for this pen, and you can see that it's got a narrow end here with a little cap, and what that does, you take the nib, you slide it into here like this, and you press it in until it clicks. That will puncture a hole in the end of the tube and allow the ink to begin to flow down to the nib. Once you've got the ink into the nib, you simply thread it into the pin. Here's your cap. The pen is absolutely gorgeous. I would like to sincerely thank you for joining me today. This was an absolute amazing project. I was very excited about turning my first fountain pen, and when it was complete, it was so beautiful, I could not wait to get it to my aunt. I hate to say this, but I was so excited that I forgot to photograph the pen. I immediately went straight to the post office, dropped it in the mail. She's already received it and called me the other day and just thanked me. She was so excited. She loved the pen. She loved the history behind the wood. So this project was a success all the way around. I turned a beautiful pen. My aunt and godmother got a beautiful gift, and I got a video to show you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and comment. I do make every effort to answer all comments and questions. I love your questions. If you're not a subscriber, down below there's a subscribe button. If you'll click that, all of my future videos will be directly delivered to your feed. As always, I'd like to say you are always welcome in my shop. So until we meet again, have a great evening, and I'll see you soon.